Hey everyone, happy Sunday. Welcome to Call the AD and Scottish Watches Live. I'm Stephanie. She Watches the World on Instagram.
And I'm Arthur. I'm Tick Tick Vroom.
Anyway, this is our weekly show where we talk about a variety of topics, having the discussion about fun topics, kind of less about new releases and more about things, frankly, Arthur and I talk a lot about as a couple because we're obsessed with watches. Anyway, today's topic we thought would be fun to talk about Grail watches. It's a term that's always used, but I think it means a lot of things to different people.
Right.
So we kind of picked we asked you all for recommendations of what does a Grail watch mean to you? And we picked a few different categories and what some of our picks would be. But it'd be fun if you all put some comments in about what your Grail watches are as we go through each of these different categories. But please subscribe to Scottish Watches Live. Please follow us on Instagram and also call the A.D as well for our show Instagram. So I think I'll start with a wrist check.
Sure.
That should be good. This is as close as I can come to my Grail watch. I am wearing my Zenith Defy Midnight, which Karan helped me get, and I love. It's not totally focusing, but this is great. I've had it a few months now, and it's a really wonderful piece. Arthur, I'm wondering if you have any news to share in your wrist check today.
I don't know, but I'm feeling awfully thirsty today.
Mm-hmm. Me too. I'm not usually one for soda, but this seems like it might be appropriate.
It might be appropriate. I don't know. It's kind of a rainy day. I'm feeling a little blue.
It's an interesting color sweater you have on too.
Yeah.
You don't usually wear blue and red.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. But in seriousness for a minute. The inspiration, in a way, for today's episode is a lot of you guys and gals who've been following the channel for a while know that one of my Grail watches, by one of the definitions we're going to talk about today, is the Rolex Gmt Master 2 Pepsi. And you can probably tell by the smile on my face, something good has happened. And it finally showed up.
Yay!
So I wanted to share the news and show you guys real quick. Let's see if we can get this to focus properly. There we go. Here it is.
Yay!
An absolute favorite of mine since the early days of me getting interested in watches at all. So it's really great to be able to finally have this, and I feel very, very lucky to be able to get one in the circumstances I did. So just wanted to share the happiness, and then we'll talk a bit about what Grail means to us and to you guys. And I just wanted to say a huge thanks to Karan, who runs the About Time channel on YouTube, and is also my watch dealer, to Karan and the folks at LV Luxury Jewelers, including Christine, who helped make it happen. So.
And you love it. You're obsessed with
it.
It was not a meet your heroes situation. Like it came. You hadn't tried one on in 2+ years at this point. Because
they're just so hard to get your hands on even just to try.
And you love it. You nearly had a panic attack trying to adjust the bracelet.
Yeah. I still got to make some tweaks there, but it's it's going to be, knowing me, the hardest part is going to be just like relaxing about wearing it because it's so perfect right now. Yeah. But I think it's definitely like living up to my expectations. Good. And I'm super psyched about it. So just wanted to share that. And Dan, I think you're right. You should get a thank you as well, because you've been reminding everyone in the chat that I was waiting for a Pepsi for about the past 9 months or so. And Karan said I make him feel like he made the watch. You made it possible. Let's say that. So so that's our good news.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll get on into Grail watches as a topic, right?
Exactly. And I think your Pepsi will come up a few times in this conversation.
Paul Ross has a good comment. Well, I've taken the sticky off the buckle and just gone for it. Paul's comment was, I wonder how many times you checked the tracking of the package.
God. He actually got in the car because he thought he got an alert that says it had arrived, and it wasn't. It was just an alert that it was on the next stage. So
it was going to a FedEx store for pickup. I almost like went and like sat at the store to wait for it. But
I'm not sure a lot of work got done on the day you got it.
Yeah.
But
okay.
it's great.
So Grail watches as a concept.
Grail watches as a concept. So we've talked a little bit about this before, but I think it's a bit of an overused term. Everyone talks about like, oh, this is my Grail or this is my next Grail. But that's not really what the Holy Grail is, right? I think there's a bunch of different ways that you can think about it. And it's probably not like if you choose the wrong one, like in Indiana Jones, that you're dead, right?
Yeah.
Or it's not, the watch that you wear and then share with 12 of your buddies, like Jesus did. So we're going to talk about some of the different definitions. We try to put some categories from some good responses that you all gave. And I think that's it.
So I think the term may be a little overused, Grail watch. And particularly, I think you can tell when people's definitions differ, when some people have a Grail that they maybe like are never going to be able to buy or might take years. I would say that's probably the case for me with this one, the taking a long time, and seeking it out over a while, whether that's difficult to obtain from an availability standpoint or from a financial standpoint, which, this was both for me, over time. And then other people use the term more freely. And I've even heard people say my next Grail, which makes it sound like every single next watch is a Grail for you, which is cool if you feel that special, but I don't know if that fits my personal definition. So I think we asked for your opinion on Instagram on Call the A.D, and we're going to go through a couple of different categories and share what they mean to us and what we would pick.
Let's start with Instablane's comment there, though, of what watch would be worn on Monty Python. But I think maybe one made out of coconut shells, like
maybe a little coconut shell, like hinged case that protects the dial.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of my favorite movies.
A minute repeater where the sound is chimed out with little coconuts.
Or one that's missing 3. That whole joke of 1, 2, 5, no 3.
Yeah, that'd be funny. That'd be funny.
Well, let's go to our first category.
Okay, so our first category is what we're calling the truly unattainable Grails. So this is something where, like, unless you won the lottery, you can never really imagine a circumstance where you could get it. Or
there's like no way to get it because it's like a super unique piece, and
that's possible.
Even if you had all the money in the world, you wouldn't be able to get it. So Arthur and I are going to talk about each of ours, but if you have a Grail watch in this category, put it in the comments.
Yeah, so this is like in your dreams, literally, and probably never in reality. We're going to start there.
I don't like Pepsi. I'm going to keep drinking that.
Oh, jeez. I do prefer Coke Zero, actually, but that does not have anything to do with how much I love this watch. Okay, so I'm going to start off with mine.
Okay.
Here we go. And to be honest, there's like probably a lot of watches that fall in this category, but I'm particularly in love with some of the things that MB&F do with the legacy machines. This particular one is called the LM2, and it's in platinum with a blue dial. 18 pieces made, so difficult to get even if you have the means, right? This one has basically 2 balance wheels and escapements, and essentially a gear train, which is kind of represented in the center here, that sort of averages the timekeeping of the 2, such that errors cancel and you end up with better timekeeping. Honestly, that's not the appeal to me. The appeal to me is you have so much to look at on the face of the dial.
But it still just tells you just hours and minutes, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
So it has a super accuracy, but there's not even the seconds hand.
I believe you're correct.
Okay.
But it's just about how pretty this is, how much of the move and architecture has been constructed just to give you something beautiful to look at. And it's not fully skeletonized. I would say it's like an inverted movement with some pieces exposed. And that's beautiful and attractive to me.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that's my, to be honest, watches in this category for me change more frequently because it's just what's catching my daydreaming eye on a
Right.
given day of the week. Right.
This is a fun category to think about too, because you know you're never going to get it. It's not like it's anywhere in the realm of ever sort of being possible. So these are kind of watches that are really fun to admire because you don't get super obsessed, like, oh, what do I need to do to make it happen? Because it's just not going to happen.
Right. And just an interesting comment I wanted to highlight here from Ben, that and I think we're going to kind of go through these different categories. That a Grail, he says, a Grail is subjective to everyone's taste and budget. That's true, because unattainable financially is definitely different for different people, right? But I'm often seeing the same collectors exclaiming that they just bought their Grail at least once a month or once a week in some cases. To me, the idea of a desirable watch could be obtained so frequently does not constitute a Grail watch. That's just buying what you want when you want to.
Thing you want.
Yeah, right. And that's the way most of us behave, you know, in watch collecting.
Yeah.
So staying on the truly unobtainable.
Yes.
Let's check out what you've picked.
A little Van Cleef action.
Yes.
Which I would just love to see one of these. I think that would be. You didn't get to pick the diamond bracelet one for me too?
Well, I'm sure there's a picture in here. I didn't know which one you wanted.
Well,
honestly.
It's the Van Cleef Planetarium. I mean, if we're just gonna go full unobtainium. I mean, look at the back. The back is amazing. Cool.
That I didn't realize that was like a cluster of diamonds here.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So
you can see why it might be financially unobtainable there.
But I just think this watch is so neat that it has the inner planets. I don't know. I love it. I think it's beautiful. The functions are really neat, very spacey for me. And it's just like a genuinely beautiful, beautiful piece of jewelry.
And it fits your love of space.
Yeah.
And your love of sort
but
of
it's a really
things, right?
Wonderful horological piece too, right? The movement in it is fantastic. I don't know. Frankly, I just want to see one, but like, there's no practicality in either of our choices here, right? Like, they're not watches you can actually wear, or there's a lot of practicality in any of this discussion, but
you got an offer.
Okay.
Yes, we will. I'd love to see this in person.
I just think it's
my favorite touch here is like where you might on other watches see like a screw head to release like a bar to change the strap. No, there's a diamond.
So you don't have to worry about scratching anything because there's diamonds everywhere. So it's a perfect watch for me.
It's a perfect watch for me. I think I need that sapphire cased Hublot. Although I don't love it, it would be perfect watch for the OCD-ness in me. So yeah.
Did anybody else have some picks for their like totally what we're calling unattainable grails?
Yeah. Some Patek's choices.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Always a bit out there. Vintage Invicta's picked a Gronfeld Principia.
Okay. Yeah.
Beautiful stuff. Some independents coming out here. Let's see. I think I saw Ross has picked a Grubel Forcy Balancier S. Yep. Yeah, I think that falls in that category probably. Okay. Oh, interesting. The AP Survivor watch. Yeah. Well, cool. A watch made by Breguet himself. Yeah. I like the idea of thinking historical too here. Yeah. For sure.
Because I could definitely think of some pieces with a lot of historical significance, whether made by a watchmaker or had been the actual piece that had gone on a specific space mission or something like that, right?
Like taking that angle on it, I think I might pick like Scott Carpenter's actual Navitimer Cosmonaut, right? If you're taking that angle,
right?
That's a good point. Yeah,
that would be fun.
The other one I consider, just to say, I think it was a piece unique Vacheron with a ton of celestial complications, front and back.
Right.
I think is one of the coolest watches made.
But you can change these out because it's never going to happen. So you can have something in your unattainable Grail category.
Dan has appreciated my historical pick.
Let's go to the next category.
All right, let's talk about it for a moment. So I think the next category is probably closer to my personal definition of what a Grail watch is. There's a sense of unattainability, or a sense that from a financial perspective or simply an availability perspective, you've got to put in the work, got to wait, you've got to maybe make some sacrifices or trades in the other parts of your watch collection. and something that is the exact opposite of an impulse buy.
Yeah,
right?
it's not your next watch. It's something that you're gonna have to work for to get, and like
Yeah.
maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't, but
Right.
something it's difficult to obtain for one reason or another.
Yeah. And to me, this is my personal definition of what a Grail watch is. It is obtainable eventually, and the effort and the time it takes makes it that much sweeter. And there's only one answer for what that could be for me.
Yeah.
And that's this guy right here. And so maybe my definition's got to change, but I'm going to just enjoy my honeymoon thoroughly with this.
Why do you love that watch so much? Like, why?
Oh, okay. So, I mean, I could almost do like a review on this thing, but
a lot of people on the internet have done that, but you personally,
it's perfectly proportioned for me, for my taste, for my wrist. It has the aviation heritage, which to me is a big deal. I think I talked about it on a prior episode, but Rolex designed this watch sort of collaboratively originally with Pan Am Airways as a functional multi-time zone pilot's piece. And earlier in my career, I was a flight test engineer on what used to be a Pan Am 747. So I've had some of my best experiences in my career on an old Pan Am aircraft, which had the original first class cabin, and just there's a lot of that like iconography of 1960s jet age aviation. And I'm more of like a modern watch kind of guy. So to me, this is like the perfect evolution of all those things from the original GMT, and that had to be the red and the blue for me.
Yeah.
And crazy enough, I don't know if people know this, but this is also my first Rolex. I essentially procrastinated on getting one until I could get the one that I love the most.
I think that's the right way to go.
So,
but it was great because, I mean, I know the waiting period sucked, but you were able to save up the money. It was sitting there in an account. So when you got the call, there was no hesitation. Right. You felt really good about it. And there you go.
It was definitely an exercise in patience for me, but it does really make it that much sweeter.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
Yeah. So that's mine for this difficult to obtain Grail category. To be sure, the GMT Master caught my eye when I was first learning about watches like 8 to 10 years ago. And even then, the 5 digits that were out, like the Cokes and the Pepsis of that time, for me at that time were financially unattainable.
Yeah, there was no way we could do it then.
And then GMT market kind of blew up and it felt even more unattainable. And so it just feels like finally. And that's it's such a satisfying thing. And
I feel like you having a Pepsi is like more fitting than a lot of people who just want it because it's so hyped up right now and like the one that everybody wants. Like there's a reason you want it, and it's
well, that's nice of you to say. I'm not going to say I'm like more deserving.
No, not more deserving, but just it's you're getting it for the right reasons.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. So anyway, I'm very happy with that. So this is my definition of a Grail, and this is it. So I don't know what I do next.
That's fine.
Just be happy.
You got your Grail. It's done. We're gonna live forever, right?
Exactly. Yep. So how about for you?
So mine is in the more totally financially unattainable category, but I guess there's like some glimmer of hope if I keep collecting watches and then sold everything that maybe there's some feasibility possibility could happen. Why don't you bring up a picture? It's the Little Longa 1 moon phase.
Ooh, man.
It's just really, really unbelievably beautiful. I've seen it in person. I got to try it on. It's this, like, the case is this wonderful rose gold color, but the combination of just the incredible movement that's in there, the finishing that Longa does, but this guilloche dial is beautiful. And the moon phase in particular, I think is really gorgeous. I don't know. I love everything about Longa. This is totally an impractical watch. It's very expensive and completely out of my budget. But if it, like, there's some like glimmer of hope, right? Like there is a world in which we could make this potentially happen.
Like if we didn't need cars anymore or something.
Or to pay the mortgage, or, put our future child through college. I could have this.
That's quite a grail. I like how you just escalated from mine. Like.
But your grail is different. You can get this, right? Like I can call someone and get this watch.
Yeah, I guess it's different types of difficulty to obtain. Right.
And I mean, maybe in the future too, when you see Langas on secondhand market, they do tend to drop price, which is crazy to me that they do, but that happens. Maybe this someday becomes slightly more reasonable. I somehow doubt it.
Ron says, on this side of the counter, I think you're being very practical.
Thank you, Kron.
And my dear mom approves as well.
Oh, good.
Thanks, Mom.
But this has all the features that I would want if I was ever to get a Langa, right? Like having that special dial finish is great. Having the digital date display, I have to have that. Having the offset dials is key. Like it has all the elements I love, and then the rose gold is just really perfect for me. So
yeah, and you've tried one on.
I have, and it fit perfect, and I loved it. And it did feel like a Grail because I put it on, and it was like, beaming down from the heavens. That was a watch that was meant to be.
Josh says it's a nice Sunday afternoon watch.
Yes, exactly.
It's nice whenever the hell you want.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's.
I am in yoga pants and a sweatshirt and wearing my Zenith with diamonds. So, maybe if I put in a little effort, I could wear something like a Langa on a Sunday afternoon.
I just think it's great that. Sure, we've got the whole debate about labeling pieces men's or women, but I just think it's great that Langa is making this movement architecture and complications in a size and style that appeals to you.
I love it.
Right?
I love it.
Because
and it's not blinged out. It's just perfect. So
the guilloche is really cool, and I know our friend Blaine just picked up a Langa one, but the guilloche is only on the smaller one, right?
Yes,
it is little. Yeah.
Yes. So
Okay,
let's move on to our next category.
Cool. Well, real quick, I just wanted to highlight some cool answers to this for this category. I don't know this reference off the top of my head, but anything in the Vacheron, I'm going to butcher this French, métier d'art is going to be wild, and I got to look that up.
Yeah.
Ross is saying an FP Journe Centigraph, one of the many in this category. Our friend Vintage Invicta is looking for a rare 1932 Invicta Chronosport. Interesting.
Unique choice.
Yeah, no, that's the cool thing is how different this is for different people.
Yeah.
The Mark Wheeler saying the Speedmaster in the Canopus Gold. I think that's the one they're calling the new like white gold thing.
I think that's right.
That's right. But yeah. Awesome. Okay, so let's go on to our next category.
This is the one that I think is overused, right? And Ben, this kind of gets to your point of that this is a term that people always use of like, oh, my next watch is my Grail. So like anything other than necessarily buying like a Timex is like, okay, this next watch is my Grail. And I don't like using it in this way, but it's a category that some people use it. So I thought we should talk about it.
So this one is going to be largely unsatisfying.
It is, because it's kind of boring.
Because it's just sort of what do we want next?
Right.
And that's not my definition, but we'll roll with it.
That's fine.
Sure.
Yeah. What do you want next? How could you like even?
Hold on. What? See, this is very hard for me to answer because I'm so content with what just happened. But here you go, and this is gonna make Dan very happy. This is my next watch Grail, if you use that term. I've been wanting a Navitimer since early on in watch collecting, and I think it's finally time to address that. And it will the collecting theme is emerging more strongly in what I have now because
you like airplanes. We get it.
Yeah.
Like I get
Jesus, shut up, Arthur. You like airplanes.
And black dials. Got it.
Right. Oh, yeah. The black dial thing's got to die soon, I think. I probably need some variety. But so I think for me, this is probably a Navitimer. And Dan, we know Oh yes, it makes me
Yes,
very, very, very
yes.
happy.
Yeah.
That's true.
But this is something you've been wanting for a long time. And honestly, I think between the Pepsi and this, you could have a 2-watch collection and be happy with these two.
But I love some of the other things I have.
I know you do, but it checks a lot of the boxes for you.
Yeah. And so the gear's already on motion on this, and they were even before this showed up. So in the words of Joe Exotic, about this month, I'm never going to financially recover from this.
True. Yeah,
but
this is where we
life is, you only live once, right?
Yeah.
So.
Get those watches before baby comes, because then
maybe that's my secret agenda. Yeah. Okay, cool. Right. So let's talk about your choices for this category.
Okay. So I think my next big purchase is I really want a candy pink Oyster Perpetual. And I want this to celebrate the birth of our baby girl. But I think this is just a really wonderful piece that will be great to pass on to her one day. To be honest, I'm debating between the 31 and the 36. I think the 36 is the right choice for now, but this is a watch I'm going to keep forever. And I'm wondering a little bit if the 31 is something that in the future, if things get kind of smaller again for women, is the 31 a more classic choice? And then right now I'm very attracted to this candy pink, pastel pink color, but there's also a blush metallic pink that comes in the 34. And frankly, I think the 34 is the perfect size, but that doesn't come in the candy pink. So I'm a little all over the place, but
this is
a
the one.
pink Oyster Perpetual is next in the big category.
Yeah. Well, I know Dan is sad that he won't be able to harass Karan about this anymore. He can help with this maybe.
Yeah.
If it helped at all.
So I'm curious what you think in the comments. Should I do 36 or 31 in the candy pink, or 34 in the more sunburst rosy color? Maybe that's a more classic choice. So I don't know, but this is next. This is next on the list.
Yeah.
I'd also say, because if you're talking about 2 different watches that are coming, I'll talk about 2 different.
Okay. All right.
The other one that I think might be next is finally getting a Panerai Due. And I know everyone's going to say but the water resistance. I don't care. I'm not going swimming with this watch. And even if I was, it would be fine. I'm not going to very deep depths of jumping in a pool, but I probably won't with a leather strap anyway. It would be fine. But I love the Duets. 38 millimeter is just great on me. I could probably go up to 40, but I just really liked the 38. It was super comfortable, and I think I would have a lot of fun playing with straps. So this is also on the near-term list. Do I need to buy 2 watches right now? Of course not, but I'm having envy that you are having new watch boxes come, and I'm not. So
danger.
Yeah. So if you're using the term of Grail watches to just mean your next higher end piece, these are next.
You've got some support here from our friend Richard.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I love this one. I tried it on recently at a local boutique. I think it's great. I'd love to have it one day. So we'll see.
All right. So let's go to the next category.
Yeah.
And I think this is it's almost blending terminology, but I think this is a very valid one. And this is the exit watch Grail.
Yeah. So this is the term that means you're done. You're done shopping. You're not going to buy any more watches. Maybe you sell what you have, but this is it. You're not on the quest to find anything better. If you could just get this one watch, you're done. I don't think this is realistic, particularly for either of us, because part of what we love about this hobby is learning about new things, adding them to our collection, experiencing something new. So even if I got what I would put as my exit watch now, I wouldn't be done. Unless I move on to some other, hobby with a lot of details.
David's right. This category doesn't
not
exist.
for anybody who's listening to this, right? But certainly for some normal people who maybe have 1 or 2 watches, if I just got this one watch, I wouldn't need to spend money on this absurd collection thing anymore.
Right.
So I don't think this is a good category for us, but if we had to pick one,
it's so hard. Oh man. Yeah. And I mean, practically it just doesn't exist for me either. And if I had to, probably one of the things that would come closest is this, but Obviously, it's not actually because I've already just answered the question on what I'm getting next. So I actually didn't have it pulled up, but the thing that comes to mind right now is I would like, see, here's the thing, Ben, is a week ago, I would have said the Pepsi is my exit watch, and I could be happy probably just wearing this every day for the rest of my life. But we love the hobby, right? We like exploring things and trying new things. So yeah, Kim, I'm with you. As a watch junkie, it just doesn't exist. If I had to, if someone put like a gun to my head right now and said, you can get only one more watch and it has to be your last watch for life, I would say I haven't gone high horology.
Okay.
I don't have it pulled up, so I won't even show the picture unless people really want to see. I would get the Vacheron Constantin Corne de Vac.
Okay.
I would go dress. Sure, why not platinum? Or I'd even take the steel, whatever. If it's just dream world, Corne de Vac platinum because it's a dressy watch. I love chronographs. It's Holy Trinity level watchmaking, and it's manual wind, so you get the beautiful movement. I mean, if I had to.
There you go.
So
okay. That's a good way of thinking about it. David, I like your comment of like exit watch is the one you're buried with, right? That's like one way to think about it.
Yeah, that's the only true exit watch, I think.
Yeah. But especially for us, like there's not like one watch to rule them all. I know that was like a category that we had before, but an exit watch, like next purchase and then that's it. I don't think that's possible. But if I had to pick one right now, I'm sounding like a little bit of a broken record.
Hold on. Can I just highlight this? Mark Wheeler, my last watch would be the Ulysse Nardin Voyeur. I'd die in shame shortly after.
Immediately. It's awful. It's awful. Why can't they make like watches with crazy animations that aren't in really terrible taste? That would be really nice. That would be cool and a unique feature. But
So you picked a watch for this category too. Do you feel comfortable in this choice after the discussion? I mean, it's just imagine the like imaginary scenario. It had to be the end. Would this be the choice?
This probably not, but go ahead and show it. So I'm sounding a little like a broken record, but I am pretty obsessed with the Vacheron Overseas right now. I think this would be a great kind of does it all sort of watch. So I guess if I say exit watch, this is a little bit like less of what's the next watch and you're done collecting. This is more of a you can't have anything else. You can only have one and you're done. And this would definitely be it for that.
Especially with the versatility with the included straps. It's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet.
I love this piece. I think it would look great on me and I could wear it in all sorts of occasions, but it's absurdly expensive and not something that's in, the budget anywhere close right now. But I guess if you're thinking of it like, I got to pick a watch and this is it forever and ever, I'm probably with you that I would go with some high horology, crazy dress piece. Maybe that long.
I do think I need to call out one thing here. Your like difficult to obtain Grail was a little longer one. And your exit watch was this.
Yeah.
And the little longer one financially is more unobtainable than this is.
Right, but you picked an exit watch that is also financially unobtainable.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay, whatever. That's all right. Paul wants to know why not the diamond bezel version.
It's a good question. So I love the diamonds on my Zenith, which I didn't think I would. I'm not usually like a diamond sparkly girl, but I don't like the diamonds on the Overseas. I think it's a little bit weird with how the case shape is, that they're the diamonds. Just pull up the rose gold one. That they don't go all the way around the bezel. They're just on portions of it.
They're on the raised portions.
They're on the raised portions.
Yeah. Maybe a 3D shot would help.
But yeah, just not for me in this case. Like if it was just the inner circle, I think I would like that. But it is beautiful on the gold though.
Yeah, the rose gold's really nice. Really, really nice. That's a fun dream.
I'm not sure I would wear it that much. Anyway, that's exit watch.
And then an interesting last category, and our friend Blaine suggested this is, and this is a very like nice attitude because he's by saying this saying appreciate what you have right now, and he said it should be the watch you're most excited to wear right now.
Yeah. like the one you have, that's your piece that you worked really hard for, or is your favorite, or
well, wouldn't that be nice if we could just
be content?
Yeah,
that's not
easy answer for me. Again, I just keep doing this on these answers, but yeah, this is definitely what I'm most excited to wear right now. No competition, so that'll be on there.
Does that mean I can wear some of your other watches? Can you at least like let me wear the Black Bay 58 now? I feel like
under what circumstances?
Like put it on a strap so you don't have to resize the bracelet, and I won't mess up the bracelet.
Okay, we'll talk.
I just don't see you wearing the Tudor anytime soon.
Talk.
So
yeah.
Anyway, the watch I'm most excited to wear right now, which is why I wore it today, is the Zenith. I just love this watch. It's so great. It's so me. I like try to, whenever I go anywhere, which isn't very often, like I try to put together things that I can wear that go with the blue dial, or like highlight the blue dial.
Yeah.
And you know, this watch looks great with jeans and a white t-shirt, or, you know, like how great would it be with a blue cocktail dress? Not that I'm fitting into blue cocktail dresses right now, but like one can hope. Yeah, but this is certainly what I'm most excited to wear.
I like that ending on that note, because that's about appreciating that, especially if your definition was such that you got a watch that you would have called a Grail, you need to pause and appreciate that, which I'm certainly feeling really lucky right now in that regard, and just enjoying that. So I like the last comment there. I think that's one you should highlight. About it.
Yeah, that the idea of a retroactive Grail too. You didn't know it at the time, but in hindsight, they're impossible to get. Or maybe you have learned to appreciate it even more than you thought. But
that's cool that for Ross it was an Autodromo. I like the brand. I had a Group B Series 2 as well. That was good. Great watch.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, with micro brands or independents or anything made in lower volumes, the difficult to get factor can take on a different meaning. It's not just financial or what have you, right?
But I will say, you and I never buy watches because we think they're going to be difficult to get in the future, or we think the price is going to go up. We tend to buy watches because we want to keep them forever, and I don't think that'll change, but maybe it will if there's always something else you want. I don't know.
I haven't sold anything of any significant value that I've bought, at all. But I'm also fairly slow to make purchasing decisions, so I try to make sure I'm going to want to keep what I've
very slow to make purchasing decisions.
Let's see. We've got some other comments. Mr. No Date. Wait, we're allowed to appreciate the watches we have. Head explode.
I know. There's always the next thing, but I think it's good to like look back and really appreciate all the things that you have and find, excuses to wear them. And actually, I think this is part of why like Arthur and I track our watches of what we're wearing when, right? So that if something hasn't been used in a while, you bring it out and you're like, this is why I love it.
We've never used that data to justify selling something. Actually, it's just more like, maybe I'm not appreciating that enough. Let's go back to that a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Dan mentioned something that fits right in this category of difficult to obtain, but not necessarily expensive. And that is the out of production Mr. Bean Wacky Tie Watch. In case you haven't watched the show before or haven't heard us talk about this is a watch that Dan picked on one of our early challenges. And it's a novelty quartz watch available in 38 or 42 individually or as a set when it was available. And it's Mr. Bean, and the hands are a red tie and 2 pieces that tell the time. So as a favor to him, if everyone can keep an eye out, even used, we can't find this thing available new. This would be the cheapest Grail watch anyone has ever bought if we can just find the damn thing. So please keep an eye out for Dan so we can make his dreams come true.
Yeah, if we get it for him, though, he has to wear it like every day. I think for a long period of time or something there. Yeah.
So cool. Any other comments or thoughts on what a Grail watch means to you?
Any other like categories we missed, or your personal Grail, whatever the definition may or may not be? I don't know. I feel like there you go. Yeah.
There's other hard to get watches. Andrew here is mentioning some of the Kurono Tokyo watches, them and like the Mings recently have been like it's like trying to buy a PS5 on the internet, right? Like it's the same kind of game right now for some of that stuff.
By the way, the day Arthur got the call about the Pepsi, like the call, like
it was a call.
Magic day. He kept trying to get a PS5 because he thought it was like actually his lucky day. Like
I was like, maybe it'll work.
PS5.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's telling when the Pepsi shows up before the PS5. That's right. Yeah. Oh man, Blaine, can we please ask? Maybe we can get in touch with Pietro, who was on our last episode, and ask him to get in touch with Konstantin Chaikin to make a Mr. Bean Wacky Tie watch, high horology edition.
Exactly. Then Dan would have to buy it.
Yeah. Right. So, I actually, a funny story about the call, which is a thing that really exists, is the phone rang last Monday evening, I think it was, and we were taking like an online childbirth class through the hospital, and I see the caller ID, and I'm like, oh, I really need to focus on the childbirth class, and then you were like,
it's Quran.
Wait a minute. And you texted me what it was about, and you were like, I think you said you've been waiting for this watch longer than you've been waiting for this baby.
It's true though. It's true. Go pick up the phone.
So I did.
Yeah.
I did.
It was okay.
Yeah. Good. It all worked out.
It's good. Yeah. All right. Well, I think we've covered it. I think it's a good place to wrap it up. So any more thoughts or comments on what a Grail watch means to you, put in the comments in YouTube. And yeah, but this was a fun chat. I know you're so happy about your Pepsi. Yes. I'm glad you're happy. Don't worry, I won't ask to borrow it or touch it. I know better. But you're enjoying it.
Yeah, no. And thanks everybody for watching. As always, check out everything else Scottish Watches. And we'll see you around here next week.
Next week. All right. Bye, everyone.
Have a good week, everybody. Enjoy your watches. Appreciate what you have. All right. Bye.